there. Well, hello. Welcome to Career Day, and I would like to explore the teaching field with you. My name is Kim Thorsen, and I've been teaching in Brea for, let's just say, a long time. And I just want to share a little bit about teaching that you may not know. So first, let me tell you a little bit about myself. I have two boys, but now they're men, and they went through Brea Olinda School District. And in fact, one is now becoming a teacher, and the other one is subbing at the high school. Passions and interests. I love nature and birds. It helps keep me mindful and centered. I love creating and doing things new, and I love kids, which is why being a teacher is so rewarding for me. Love coffee. Although I'm the first generation that went to college, Mr. Thorsen is a teacher, and my two boys are going to be a teacher. So I said that I'm a teacher, but then it said instructional coach on the page before. So an instructional coach is a teacher on special assignment. So I was in the classroom teaching first grade, third grade, fourth grade, and fifth grade for 24 years. And now I've been an instructional coach, pulled out of the classroom, still as a teacher, but more specifically a support system for students and teachers. Right now I'm working at Falcon Academy and Laurel Magnet School. So I'm Google certified, worked in Brea my whole entire career. I attended Cal State Fullerton, Azusa Pacific University, and Hope International University. And I've spent 5 years, this is my 5th year as a TOSA, working on STEAM nights, makerspace, makerplace, creative ways to integrate my passions into my job. So what does it take to be a teacher? Well, let's go there. You need to graduate from high school with a diploma. That takes 4 years. In order to get into the university that you want, grades do matter. So work really hard to make sure that the grades you earn are grades that get you to the college or university that you want. There are lots of universities that focus on teaching. So think about the other things that the university has. Do you like the area, things to do on your free time? Do you like the people that go there? Think about other options. If you get a teaching credential, you want to make sure it's in the state which you hope to teach. There's 3 main kinds. There's single subject, which is more for secondary education, like you could major or get your credential in science or in even more specifically biology. So you have single subjects, then you have multiple subjects. That would be for teaching elementary school. So, and in fact, you can teach up to 8th grade with a multiple subject credential, but usually in the junior high or middle school, they like you to have a single subject. And if you want to work with special needs kids, that's a different credential. So just know that there's options. Once you get your credential, then you can go teach in your own classroom. After that, you can choose whether or not to get your master's degree or your PhD. All those are additional options, but this is what you need to do. Okay. So, teaching. I think this was one of my first years, and you can see the yearbook was in black and white, not because it had to be, because we chose, but it was too expensive to have it in color. Anyway, these kids, this is where it starts for them. And how exciting is it for me to expose them? A teacher will share with them different experiences that allow them to form the kind of person that they want to be. So right here we have a biologist or a chemist. We have someone who is in their own field of repairing, owns their own business. I also see in this group of kiddos people who live out of state. and people who have stayed very local. So knowing that school is where it starts, that's what drives me to do what I like to do. And you may not choose to be a teacher in the end, but whatever career you choose, make sure that it aligns with your purpose in life. So for me, it was about making a difference to kids, and it had to involve kids. And so that makes all the difference. Remember, you're going to have a job that you do 2/3 of your life. So you might as well have a job that you enjoy, because 24 hours, you do your job 8 hours. So that's a third. Other career paths, you don't have to be a teacher with that education. There are other things that you can do that you might want to explore, whether you're an instructional coordinator that works at like a district office level, or at a curriculum company, to someone who works in childcare, either before and after school, even during the daytime. You can tutor people, then you're choosing your own career and your own business. So you choose your hours. You can become a counselor, a little added training. You could become a trainer of sorts, whether it's for sports or so with a little added training, then you learn how to work with people, right? Social worker, if you want to be a media specialist, tech person. So there's some different career paths that are similar, maybe not exactly the same. So what is teaching? Well, it's definitely more encompassing than what you think it is. So again, this is a group that I taught, and exposing them to different experiences is really important. What is teaching? Teaching is you get there at, usually, this is only for Brea, each school district is a little different because their union decides what they can and can't do. And so you get there about a half hour before kids and you stay about a half hour afterwards. But in reality, sometimes I'm working until 10 o'clock at night, but it's what I love to do. So maybe not grading always, but helping kids be successful. So in the end, it makes it very rewarding. You teach different curriculums. So maybe math, science, social studies, at least at an elementary level. Some districts you teach PE, you teach art. So all of those are different curricular areas that you work on. You give classwork, homework, you grade everything. And if you have a substitute, you plan for that substitute so that they have all the tools they need to be successful. So that's what teaching and assessing. So what is my job really? Well, you manage field trip money. So you become an accountant, right? Who owes you what money, and you become a nurse because we have lots of boo-boos that happen. You become a tech expert because something is bound to go wrong, even if it's a broken pencil sharpener. You're a cheerleader for those subjects that are so hard for certain kids. And sometimes the topics are just really hard to teach. So you're like a cheerleader. You're a mom because sometimes kids still have like stuff by their mouth from breakfast, and so you got to kind of remind them to zip up their zipper and clean off their face. You're a handyman for things that break, right? A reporter, you're collecting clues all the time, making sure you're aware of what's going on and how kids are emotionally, socially, and academically. You're the police, maybe not giving out detention all the time, but you're always watching to see how people are treating each other and holding them accountable for their actions, whether it's work not done or work that is done. You're a manager, so you watch how everything comes in and goes out. You're an entertainer because, boy, they want to be entertained. Think about what they have when they get home. So their teacher, in order to get all that information in there. Kind of has to be more of an entertainer. Diplomat, equity versus equality. We know that that can be an issue. And then you have to be knowledgeable. And so that may mean that you have to do your own research. So in a way, you're like a professor. I know those things are not in your training program, but you learn it on the job. So then you're thinking, well, is it all worth it? Well, teachers get paid, and this is just Brea this year. So teachers get paid in steps. There's two things for the most part that happen. One is your years of experience, and that's where it says steps. Those are how many years you've been teaching. Then there's different columns. That's your academic, your educational experience. So someone who's more experienced has their bachelor's degree, master's degree, doctorate. It moves over as you get more and more college units. And so you could go down in this, if you follow this red line, my first year or your first year of teaching, you would be making $45,963. And then there is a raise as you go down, but while you're taking classes, then you may move over. So in year 3, you might go from 49 to year 4, which is 60. So it helps you weigh out whether or not when you get more educational experience, if that college tuition is worth it, right? So that is how the pay works. And after 26 years, then you're at your top pay. And for having so much experience, some people say that this isn't a lot for what teachers are expected to do, but we also have to remember that they work 185 days. And the rest of the days they don't work. So some people wonder, like, do they get paid for holidays? We get paid for the holidays that are federal holidays, but all the other, like spring break, we don't get paid. Winter break, we don't get paid. Summer, we don't get paid. So just remember that you get paid 185 days. That's why some teachers have a second job during the summer. Some people ask for my advice. And so my advice when it comes to finding your passion and what kind of career you want to do, you have to find your right fit. Volunteer. So maybe you want to see if you want to become an elementary teacher, or maybe you're even thinking a doctor. So go and shadow somebody. People who are in their career love that someone is interested. So volunteer and just ask someone if they can, if you can shadow them. Okay. Think about why you're doing your job, why you want to become a teacher, and make sure you're doing it for the right reasons. It shouldn't be for the summer. It shouldn't be for the pay. It should be for the kids. And so it's important that pay and summer vacations, they're nice, but they don't help you through those 180 days. Always look at the positive, keep your glass half full rather than thinking about the negative, because sometimes things can get tough. So no matter what career you go, keep your glass half full, which means look at the positive side rather than the negative side. And then the last piece of advice is, especially for teaching, is you only get one chance to make that moment work. And so you kind of have to really go all out, and you go out all out every single day, because you never know what moment is going to make a difference. So you do your best to try and make every moment meaningful. Common questions people have: is it easy being a teacher? Oops, there's a typo. Is it easy to being a teacher? Is it easy being a teacher? Some days it's very easy because the rewards are very visible. And some days it's super hard, but that's any job. There are some days I want to quit and I think I'm the worst teacher ever. And then there are other days where students smile, or somebody saying thank you, or giving me a hug, can make all the difference in the world. Do we get paid in the summer? No. Do I love having the summers off? Oh, yes. So it's a chance for me to explore. But when it comes to accounting, it's really important that I save money during the course of the year so that I can enjoy my summer. Because there's been some times where I spent too much money. And so pretty much we're staying home all summer. So can you be a teacher anywhere? No, no, you can't. So there are national credentials, which means you can go anywhere in the United States if you're someone who really likes to travel. But if for the most part, wherever you get your credential, that is where you're being trained to teach. So if you move states, then there's probably a couple other classes, college courses that you'll have to take that state requires. Now, the good thing is I go like this because in California, you have to take a couple more classes. Why? Because we're such a diverse state and we have English language learners, we have a lot of diversity. And so you take more classes in California, but that's a good thing because if you go to another state, you won't have to take very many classes. I think at least it was a couple years ago, California and New York are the two states that have the highest, some of the highest demands on their teachers. So I think it's important if you're a teacher to remember that you get a chance to make a difference in someone's life, maybe to even determine their future. And kids are our future. So it is an amazing job to have. Teachers work extremely hard and they love what they do. So if you have, and then just like, if we look at these pictures, you see we've made mats, we did things with pumpkins, we've painted, we've experienced, went on field trips. All of those things are so memorable. You might even see someone here, some of these kids have become football, or at least their interests were in football players. As a teacher, you got to put yourself out there. And so you see me as a pirate right there. And so those are the things that kids remember. So each day you have a chance as a teacher to make a difference. So, it says right here, a career is a big decision. And so don't let that stress you out. Just start following your passions and just exploring some of it. That's an amazing start, especially where you are. So you have a long life ahead of you. So get out there and keep your eyes open because you never know what it is that you'll love. So if you have any other questions or want to learn more about teaching, then feel free to email me. And it's kthorsen@bousd.us. Anyway, it was really nice talking to you. I hope you learned a little bit more about teaching, some things that you didn't know. Since you all had teachers, I kind of figured you had an idea. So I tried to explore some things that you didn't know. Anyway, thank you for joining me. Have a great day.